Shalom. Every year, usually in November, except for when the fruit grows during Shemitah, we go to the olive groves for the annual olive harvest. The olives are picked from the trees and quickly brought to the olive press and made into boutique olive oil. This year, in addition to our employees, olives were also picked by many volunteers, some who came just to assist and participate in the harvest, and a couple of the landowners who wanted to experience harvesting olives from their land and estimate how much oil would be pressed from these olives. Harvesting the olives was performed exclusively by Avodah Ivrit, Jewish manual labor, from many backgrounds and age groups. The work was exhausting, and the many dozens of sandwiches that were prepared each day in advance were never enough for the laborers, who, while enjoying the work, built up tremendous appetites. As more people purchased land units with olive tree development and management, keeping the mitzvot connected with farming on private land in Israel will become a common occurrence as in the days of old. To learn how you can participate, contact us. I have a rabbi and Rabbi Kaniel with us over here in Rosh Pina. We're in the middle of the olive harvest. I'd like to ask the rabbi some questions that he can perhaps explain to people in Israel and in the diaspora. There's misconceptions about Shemitah. Olives are considered fruit trees, correct?
That's correct.
Correct. So Shemitah starts this coming Rosh Hashanah.
Shemitah for other produce, anything other than fruits.
Other than fruits. Other than fruits.
Fruits start in Tu B'Shvat.
This is now November 10th. So next year on November 10th, when it's already Shemitah, we'll still be allowed to pick the fruit. Whatever was growing April, May, June, July, August, and then they're grown and they're ripening in October and November. We're picking them, even though it's already the Shemitah year, the fruits can still be picked.
Correct, because they've grown prior to the Shemitah of the fruits.
So next year, the following year, when Shemitah ends, the fruits that grew during Shemitah, we won't be able to pick.
Correct.
So we're picking during Shemitah what grew before Shemitah, and we're not picking after Shemitah what grew during Shemitah.
That's correct.
Thank you, Rabbi. I'm with David Stefanski, correct?
Yeah, my name is David Stefanski.
And you're from?
Antwerp, Belgium.
Antwerp, Belgium. Are you an Oleh Hadash?
I'm now in the process of making Aliyah.
So you want to live in Israel?
Yeah, for sure.
What brings you to this very physically difficult and also scratching and getting hurt a little bit throughout the day? What brings you here?
To be honest, I always loved nature and always also loved olives and the olives business. So I decided to come here myself and experience, to see the nature, to see this beautiful view.
Oh, you're making Aliyah and you're working in the field doing all this hard work?
Yeah, it's actually, I love it, really. I'm really interested in the olive business.
Yes.
And I decided to come here myself and experience myself.
Did you look at this as an investment?
For sure, also as an investment, but an investment for myself also.
So not primarily financial, but also spiritual.
Exactly.
Eretz Israel, the mitzvot of the land.
Yeah.
And you have something, you have a piece of Israel.
Exactly. You just said the words I wanted to say.
Well, welcome aboard. So besides looking at profits, losses, if it's worth to buy it, not worth
It was worth it, really.
Are you nice and tired?
I'm exhausted.
But is it a good tired?
It's the best kind of tired.
Well, we thank you for helping us.
My pleasure.
Sun is starting to set. I'm with Craig Scher, our farmer, formerly of South Africa, now residing in Moshav Hazorim. This is the Upper Galilee. He manages both here, the big trees, and the new area that we're developing in Yavniel, in the Lower Galilee. What do you think of today's harvest?
Terrible summer, very hot.
Too hot.
Too hot, bad drought, and the whole of the Galilee's olives fell off the trees.
Because we had not just hot the summer, but the early autumn wasn't really early autumn. It just continued. And that's when we needed cooler weather, then a little rain and pick.
And the week that was critical for the olives was the hottest week of the year.
Right. But we made it worth it.
Will be better.
But we made it worth it. And I have to ask you, after all these are picked, our job is over, your job just begins, right?
Right.
What's next?
Cleaning up, cutting the bottoms of the trees so that next year will be better.
So a lot of pruning. A lot of pruning.
Yeah.
Okay. And hopefully next year,
His God will be better.
we'll go into Shemitah with a bang.
Yeah.
Okay.
My name is Howard Zaretsky, and we just finished a very, very exhausting, tiring day harvesting olives in a Jewish olive field, olive grove in Israel. And I'm proud that with me today is my son Segev, who came here to live with me in August, and now we have 2 out of 4 kids living in Israel, and I hope and pray the other 4 will come and live here as well. Segev, what are your feelings about being here and participating in the first olive harvest?
It's good. It's nice to take olives that are like planted in Israel.
Did you think it was going to be this exhausting?
No, I'm tired.
It's very tired. How old are you, Segev?
15.
What grade are you in?
10.
10th grade. Okay. Do you recommend this when the other kids your age make trips from the United States and Canada to visit Israel? Do you recommend they do some days this type of work?
Yeah.
So they can feel the land of Israel?
Yeah, and do a mitzvah.
And do the mitzvahs.
Yeah.
Do you feel this has strengthened your bond to the Jewish land?
Yeah, a little.
Good.
Thank you, Howard. I'm here with Mark Bloom, an Oleh Hadash, a new immigrant from Dublin, Ireland, former professional golfer. Mark, what brought you here today to Rosh Pina?
Well, I just came to experience the field down here, what it was like, and see and consider buying into the Israeli project and have a piece of land here, which I think would be nice. And came to have a good day out with you.
Now you understand that these are 9-year-old trees.
Well, nearly as old as me.
Right. The next planting that you're getting involved with in Yavnei, in the lower Galilee, they're little trees, but after 4 or 5 years, they're big trees.
Okay.
So, you enjoyed it?
Yeah, it's good fun. Good fun. Hard work, but good fun.
Hard work, but good fun.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Join us to be connected to the land of Israel, whether you have come from abroad or you still live in the diaspora in America, Canada, or England, etc., and take part in our next planting day or harvest day. Stay connected to the land of Israel. Contact us.